Hey, welcome back to my channel, Duct Tape Mechanic. In this video, I'm going to show you a hack that's going to allow you to use a cheap Amazon filter on your newer style GE refrigerator. So if you find this video to be helpful, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So if you have one of these newer style GE refrigerators, you probably have come across this issue. So this particular model number is that right there, a very common refrigerator, and it's got this water filter on it, the XWFE water filter. Now the issue with this water filter is that when you install one, regardless of whether you use it or not, 6 months later, the refrigerator is going to start turning this water filter status light red. So then after that, I mean, you can ignore it after that, but you just won't know if you have a good filter or not. Now the real issue is when you go and replace this, you have a little bit of a sticker shock as you find that this water filter costs around 50 bucks, which is kind of insane because you have to replace that 2 times a year. Now they do sell these knockoff water filters, and they're designed for another type of GE refrigerator, the XWF. Now these won't work with the refrigerator that has these that's supposed to take these XWFE water filters. That's because these ones here have an RFID chip on them that syncs with the refrigerator. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the chip off of an old expired XWFE filter and put it onto this cheap Amazon filter and see if that works. Now if it does work, you'll still have this filter status light turn red, but what we can do to circumvent that issue is just write the date we installed it, and then 6 months later just go ahead and just toss it out, and $10 later you can just put a new one in. You don't, and as long as that red light doesn't bother you every time you get, a drink of water, it's a good way to save a good amount of money. So let's get to it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove the RFID chip that's inside this filter. I've tried in the past to heat this wrapper label up and take it off that way, but that is nearly impossible because you end up tearing that chip. It's really fragile. So you really can't see it on this camera, but the chip is around right here. So if you see the arrow, it's to the right of it. So I'm going to try to mark off a block of this area right here, and then we're going to use a not a reciprocating saw. We're going to use a oscillating saw to just cut that piece out of that plastic out, so it'll have that chip inside of it. All right, so I got the RFID chip out. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. All right, so here's our knockoff water filter, and here's the chip that we took off the GE one. I'm just going to put it, got the arrow right there, I'm going to put it right there, and then theoretically all we'd have to do is take this chip off of this one and put it onto our new one every time we replace it. For now, I'm just going to use a rubber band and see what it does. All right, so I've got the filter installed. I didn't put the cover back in because I just wanted to show you, but that is the knockoff Amazon filter, and it's got the RFID chip registering with the refrigerator. And as I'm going to demonstrate, our water is coming out as it should. So that will show both. So I got the cup of water right here, and just like that, water is coming out nice and filtered. So what you can do now is you can just get a Sharpie and just write the date that you put that knockoff filter onto the refrigerator, and then 6 months later, set an alarm on your phone and just swap that out. You save a good amount of money right there. And now it's just to demonstrate what happens. If you're curious, you're like, hey, I bet that probably works without the RFID chip. Well, I can show you. So I'm going to pull the rubber band off, and that's pretty much going to disable that filter. And then when I try to take water from there, there's your error, ERR. Good old GE trying to get every last buck out of you. Anyways, if you found this video to be helpful, make sure you hit the thumbs up sign. So that's what the final fitting looks like. I ended up using a zip tie instead of a rubber band. And as you can see, it doesn't interfere with the cover of the filter. So everything still looks good. I wrote the date down 6 months from now. And so it's just be a constant reminder to swap that out when I get to that date. And there you go. So it does work.